In the first episode from Poland, my motherland, I took you to a city of bridges, dwarfs, and neons. Oh, there will be some staples of Polish cuisine as well. Welcome to Wrocław, a Polish city people don't often hear about, yet they should. Came here for a few days to film this video and to visit my friends, by the way. I've been thinking that I can show you a little bit of the city itself. I can show you what I like the most about it and the traditional Polish cuisine in a vegetarian and vegan options. So let's do this. A mogę się zapytać, czy jest w nich mleko?
Nie ma nabiału.
Okej, czyli
Jajek
jest...
też nie ma.
Aha.
Całkowicie są jako kogoś wegańscy.
One są zrobione z cebulą, czy nie?
Kupinka jest.
So this is basically a fried potato pancake. It's so delicious. And it's made on spot. You basically look what they make it. So I think it's a really nice spot to have a little snack. A piece like this one costs $2.50, which is around 60 cents. There are just different ways of eating it. I would always eat it at my home with sugar, but people eat it with sour cream and savory, different options. That potato pancake was absolutely amazing, but I'm still hungry. Because this tour is a little bit twisted, and because I don't mind eating things for breakfast that I would normally eat for lunch, so I'm going for pierogi. This is a little bit hidden, to be honest, and I don't think that any tourists would come here to dine, but they should, because I think that place has just pierogi, and they are very affordable, which is not always the case in terms of pierogi. Even though the place is always hard to find, I have no idea where is it. I love these Polish dumplings, which we call pierogi, already plural. I took the ones with plant-based cheese and onion, a traditional Eastern Europe flavor that I always recommend. Wrocław was made for walking, therefore I took a stroll around the main market square, the heart of the city. The market square borders were established back in the 13th century. Until today, the place holds the Christmas and summer markets, New Year's Eve concerts. Also, gnome statues can be found in abundance here. But more about them soon. Okay, I had breakfast, I had coffee. Now it's getting around lunchtime and I'm thinking what I can get. And the only place that's coming to my mind is like a typical Polish place that dates back to 19th century. And the place was extremely popular between the First World War and the Second World War and after Second World War. And those are Bar Mleczny, which is not a place where you will normally drink alcohol. The place is translated into a milky bar, which is not a place where you sell and you can get milk. Basically a place where you can get a really cheap food, Polish traditional cuisine, usually vegetarian options, a lot of vegetarian options because they used to be the cheapest ones. So I'm going there for lunch. This bar is not my go-to place, but I miss its vibes throughout my stay abroad. Bar Miś, translated to Teddy Bear Bar, is said to be the best one in Wrocław. This type of place is usually partially funded by the government, hence the low prices, so no worries about the quality. Everything is fresh and made on spot. Good morning, it's 2 days later, it's pretty cold, but it's not raining. So at the moment it's about 1 degree or 2 degrees Celsius. I'm kind of dying. On the previous day, for breakfast I had potato pancakes and pierogi, and that's not what usually people have for breakfast in Poland. We usually have sandwiches, all sorts of sandwiches, but usually sandwiches with ham and cheese or with eggs or fried eggs or scrambled eggs. And today I'm going to have a breakfast like that. And also another thing that Polish people eat very often are pickles and sauerkraut. We're crazy about sauerkraut and pickles. So I will be trying to find a place to have both, or at least one of them, for breakfast. You may be wondering right now, what the hell am I doing in the city if I always say that I don't like cities and I don't like to be in the cities, and the feeling of being in the cities terrifies me. But I studied and lived in the city for 5 years, and because there are so many parks and ways to be in nature, I think this is the reason why I put up in this city for so long. I'm not sure you can see that on the camera, but it's sunny and it's snowing. So weird. But today the weather is completely nuts. I used to live in this area. This is the Park Szczytnicki area. It's a great place to chill, to relax, to run away from the busy city center. This is a place called Pergola, which is literally like a U-shaped promenade. And in that U, behind me, there is a fountain that operates only from May till October. So the perfect time to visit the city is coming very, very soon. Behind me, there is a Centennial Hall, which is a place where usually people spend first days of May watching some concerts. And not only there are festivals in there, some kind of exhibitions and concerts and whatnot. It's basically a place of a culture, and it also has a museum of contemporary art. It's a great place to visit, in my opinion. Maybe not right now in March because it's a little bit gloomy, but in a month it will be a beautiful, beautiful place. Fountain behind me plays classical music. They literally program fountain to throw the water according to the song, classical song. If Japanese culture is your cup of tea, there is a Japanese garden that is going to be very beautiful in a month or two. 26 years ago, in 1997, there was a big flood in the city. Since then, the city has prepared for a kind of occasion again, but nothing like that has happened, luckily, so far. You are more interested about what actually happened back then. There is a Netflix series, I think it's called Great Water. And until now, you're probably asking yourself why I named this video the Venice of Poland. The main river flowing through the city of Wrocław is Odra. Odra River has divided the city into small islands, and they used to be islands. Right now everything is connected and there's no more islands anymore. That's why the city is called the City of 100 Bridges, the Venice of Poland, because there are so many bridges out here. I think it's lovely because each of them is completely different. Let's see some of them, shall we? On the boulevard that is usually very busy, not in the winter though. It's right next to this bridge, Grunwaldzki Bridge, and it also has a few taxi stops, a water taxi, that are definitely amazing if you want to just use some public transportation using water taxi along the river, only becoming very popular right now. This boulevard is relatively new. It was built when I was a student, and I love riding bicycle here. It has beautiful views along the river.
Most water taxis and boat tours operate only in the spring and summertime. Only now in March the city is waking up from a long slumber.
This part of Wrocław is called Ostrów Tumski, and it used to be just a separate island, but right now it's connected with other parts of the city by bridges. The name Ostrów comes from an old word in Polish, Ostrowy, which means islands. Right now we don't use that word anymore, but Ostrów, an island. You can see there are lanterns over there, and they still need to be lit up manually. There is a man in a long black coat. He looks absolutely magical, and he lights up these lanterns every single day at sunset. This bridge that you can see, it used to be a logs bridge. People would just hang their logs, but then the bridge became just completely too heavy. They were just too afraid that it would eventually collapse, so they removed all of the logs, and now nobody should hang them anymore.
Dwarfs are the signature of Wrocław. Back in the 80s, when Poland was still a communist country, there was a movement drawing murals teasing communist leaders. The hard times are over, but the dwarves remained in the city. Moreover, their community is constantly growing. At the moment, there are over 800 of them, scattered all over the city. Next to a candy shop, there is a dwarf with a lollipop. And on the market, there is one with a guitar associated with the Guinness record, and many more.
Okay, I've become so hungry, and I want to show you one thing that is also very Polish. It's called zapiekanka, and it's a thing that technically can mean anything that's baked. Like, for example, the zapiekanka with pasta would be pasta bake. I think it makes sense. But we make zapiekanka usually with like a baguette with mushrooms and with cheese on top. So this is something that I will not try because for sure it has milk. These are pączki, which is like a traditional Polish donut. And as you can see, it has amazing fillings.
ZZ Top is a shortcut from zupy, zapiekanki. These two hold a large area in traditional Polish cuisine. I would spend my whole childhood eating both during cold winters. And at the end of the day, I went to my favorite popcorn-free quiet cinema called New Horizons. I love that place. And I finish my day with neon lights. These always are mesmerizing no matter how many times I see them. They have been collected over many years since the previous century and hung in one place in the form of an outdoor free gallery. If you found my content helpful and enjoyable, consider leaving a thumbs up, which takes only 1 second and will help the video reach more people. Thanks for watching and see you in the next episode from Poland. Bye! So cold. My feet are turning into tiny ice cubes.